I have been wanting to make this video for the longest time. I'm so excited to be reviewing the Candle Shack candle kit. Subscribe and hit the bell if you're a budding candle maker looking to start and grow your own business. You can also follow me on Instagram at The Small Biz Directive, where I talk all about candle making and the business behind selling candles. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Ashani and I'm the creator of Luna London, a home fragrance company. If you'd like to check out my shop, you can go ahead and look at the first link in the description box below. On this channel, we talk about candle making and selling candles online. So guys, as I said in my intro, I am so excited to be filming this video because I've had this kit in my house for like literally the last couple of weeks. I've just not had the chance to go ahead and film a video and review it. So I unboxed it from the shipping box yesterday, and I have to say I was like super shocked. I was not expecting it to look as nice as it does. I've bought quite a few candle kits in the past, and a lot of them are, because they're targeted towards makers, they're very like industrially packed, whereas this, even though it's targeted to, you know, serious makers and instead of maybe hobbyists, I think the presentation looks so beautiful. I just feel like it looks so professional and just really beautiful. The black just makes it look really luxurious. So Candle Shack have released a few fragrances, and to, I guess, help promote those new fragrances, they've developed these kits. One thing I have to say is I wish Candle Shack had their kits available all year round. From what I've noticed, I think they kind of release kits based on like special occasions. Say it's a new scent release, or for Christmas, or for like Pride Month. It kind of seemed like they were out of stock for a really long time. I'm not sure if it's because of like the times we're in, or if that's just the case. I've been buying from Candle Shack for about a year now, and that's just kind of the trend I noticed. So I wish they had it all year round, because I think new makers would like really get a kick out of buying a kit from them, because honestly it just looks so beautiful. So the cost of this box, I can't remember, I want to say it was about £25 without VAT and without shipping. So what I will do is go ahead and put it on the screen, like the exact cost of everything included, so you know. So basically, just on the box we have the scent description here, and then everything that's included in the box, which I'll tell you as I open it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it out. I almost opened it yesterday, but then I realized I probably wouldn't be able to get the sleeve back on nicely. So this is my first impression. Let's see. Okay. So it comes in this really nice white sort of craft box, and it's so pretty. So the first thing we have here is our instruction guide, which is amazing. So candle making kit guide, and they also have a video on YouTube. So this is perfect. Depending on your learning style, you can kind of read it or pull out the video. I love that. So I am so excited. Let me go ahead and bring you in closer. So here is the little insert, which gives you the instructions. I love the fact that they've customized the insert for the specific scent. I think that's really a nice touch. So as you can see, this is going to be a wooden wick candle. And yeah, so here's the instructions at the back. So we'll go through that step by step. And in the actual kit, what we get is, let me just move that here. So we get two 30 centiliter jars, and we also get the rose gold tins, which I'm really excited to give a go. I love the look of these. They look so pretty, so I'm excited to see how we get on with them. And what I'm also very excited about is trying out the Rcx Wax. Now, I have heard people go on and on about it for like the longest time, so I'm very excited to go ahead and try it out. So Rcx is rapeseed and coconut wax blend. You also get your wooden wicks, sustainers, stickums, and CLP labels, which is perfect because, you know, as new makers, becoming aware of CLP requirements is really important. And of course you get your fragrance oil. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just pull everything out. I love the way it's presented. It just looks so pretty, you know, having these cutouts. So you get a huge chunk of wax. It is 800 grams worth of wax, which is really like a good amount. So we have our two rose gold tins. So I've also got my two white jars, which I'm really excited about. These are matte jars. I can't remember if they're the Karen or the Lottie. Again, I'll stick everything down so you know exactly what's what. And you get the rose gold lids, which I'm also very excited to try out. I think it just seems really nice to go with, it like really suits the pink peppercorn like scent, I think. So these are the little white jars. So you get two of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and make all of, like basically all of this wax and follow the instructions. So there we go. 100%. So, and here we go. Here are the 4 wicks, 4 sustainers and 4 stickers and 4 CRP labels, because we are making 4s. So it looks like the wicks are cut to size, which is, I wasn't expecting the wicks to be so short for 30 centilitre jars. It's the first time I'm using wooden wicks, so I'm really excited to see how we get on with them. And yeah, okay, so the first step is to insert the wooden wicks into the metal sustainers. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Oh, it's a bit fiddly. Brilliant. So we have our 4 wooden wicks sorted, and now I have my 4 little stickums, which are really handy. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick my stickums onto the sustainers. And I'll peel them off basically when I'm ready. So brilliant, I have sorted out my wicks and the sustainers and we're all ready to go. What I'm going to do, which is not mentioned in the instructions, but I'd recommend for anyone to do, is basically to clean out your jars. I mean, you know, the jars are stored in warehouses, they're like shipped and God knows where they've been. So you want to clean them out to make sure you don't have any dust particles. You know, this will stop any impurities like mixing in with your wax, and because you obviously don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean them out with a paper towel and some rubbing alcohol. And I'll go ahead and quickly get on with that. So I just like to pour a generous amount onto my paper and then just go and clean it. Okay. I really love these tins. I think they're really nice. I think it's a really good size, you know, for candles. They're just really, really nice. I'm well impressed. So I have tins already. They're a lot smaller. They're white jars. I'd love to see how my labels would look on these. I think it would be really nice to, if I could make it work, I think it would be really cool. So the next thing we need to do is go ahead and melt the wax. So they are saying to do it in the microwave. I'm personally not going to do it in the microwave. I'm just going to do it as double boiler method because I don't have a jar, like a glass jar big enough that, or with a spout that I would be able to put it in the microwave. I think it will just get really messy. So I'm going to go ahead and do the double boiling method as I would with like normally, and with my melting pot, because it has a spout, it'll make things way easier. So I'm going to go and see, hopefully, I'm hoping it'll all fit in, but I'm not sure it will. So if you were interested in doing it in the microwave, it says here to heat it for 5 to 6 minutes to avoid any overheating. And basically the temperature you want it at is between 60 degrees and 65 degrees. So I'm going to do that on the double boiler and, you know, just monitor it. So, okay then, there we go. Oh, perfect. So it fits really nicely in my melting pot. So I'm going to go ahead and melt this down. Actually, just before I go ahead and melt it down, I just thought I'd give you a bit of like my thoughts or first impressions of the Rcx wax. So it feels like very much like the CS2 wax. I would say CS2 might be a tad softer, but I like the fact that it comes in solid form. This is usually really nice to be able to, like, you know, it's space saving when you have a lot of flakes. You know, you need like a huge volume of the flakes basically to make up the required weight that you're looking for. I'm hoping that makes sense. Whereas this is like 800 grams worth of flakes, you'd have like a lot more flakes. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm gonna go and just stick that in and go ahead and start melting it down. So while the wax is melting down, I'm going to go ahead and stick the wicks in the containers and also give you a bit of my first impressions of what I thought of the box. So first off, as I mentioned before, I love how it's presented. It's really presented beautifully. And I also love the fact that you have a variation of like containers. From the other kits I've purchased, they were basically like 20 centiliter Karen jars, which is like the standard jar. So I understand why, you know, that is the chosen jar for a lot of other candle suppliers. It's because it's the most standard one. But I do like the fact that, you know, if you have been making candles for a while, I feel like this kit will like be good for you as well. So let me just stick this down. I also love the fact that it's wooden wick. As I mentioned before, I've never used a wooden wick before, so I'm excited about it. Also, you don't, I guess, really need something to kind of keep it in place, keep the wick in place, which is also really handy if you're a new beginner and you don't like have wick centerers or anything like that. So I really like the fact that, you know, it's kind of like beginner friendly, but also something that people who have been making candles for a while can also enjoy. So let's stick this other one down. There we go. So just to give you kind of a heads up of how this is going to work. So once the wax is melted down, as we said, between 60 and 65 degrees, we actually just go ahead and pour all of the fragrance oil in. So I believe that gives us an 8% fragrance load. So you're basically using everything for these 4 containers. As I also mentioned earlier, I do love the fact that, you know, you have this insert in there. Some of the other kits that I've purchased in the past, there's a video, but it's not really clear like where you find the video. It's kind of not in the box, which sometimes, you know, as a customer, you may forget that, like, you know, you wouldn't really instantly think, oh, let me go ahead and check the website to see how it works. Like, you kind of want everything, if you're buying a kit, everything in one space. So yeah, I'm really happy and impressed with the kit. I love the fact that you get lids. It just feels very premium. I also love Candle Shack fragrances. I didn't even tell you how it smells. Let me go ahead. Honestly, it smells so beautiful. If you've not tried the pink peppercorn scent, I would highly recommend you go out and try it. It's definitely one of my favorites. I haven't got it in a collection yet, but I'm trying to think of where I can use it and where it would make sense. But it's really, really beautiful. So I'm really excited to be able to use it myself at home. There we go. Let's just stick that in there. So overall, I think it's a really like faff-free kind of kit, which I really like. I guess the only thing I would say is just to be sure that if you don't have a wax melting pot, you do have a container that you're able to either double boil in or put in the microwave. For me, I've got a big glass bowl, but it just doesn't have a spout, so it would honestly be like a really waxy nightmare. Okay, so our wax is just about ready. I'm gonna come and pop it off the heat. I'm just gonna bring it out here. Okay, so it's a bit hotter than it should be before adding in the fragrance oil. So on our instruction sheet, it says if the wax temperature exceeds 70 degrees, which mine has at the moment, it's at about 72, allow the wax to cool before adding in the fragrance oil. So I'm going to add the fragrance oil in at about 68 degrees Celsius. This is usually what I would do if I was using the CS2 wax, which is my standard wax I use in my collections. So I'm going to go ahead and just wait until we're down to 68 degrees before pouring in the entire 68 or 69 grams of fragrance oil. Okay, so we are almost at temperature. We're at 69 degrees, and I'm just going to pop open my fragrance oil. And really, honestly and truly, you have to go and try this pink peppercorn smell. It just smells very like sophisticated. I can definitely get like a very like rosy kind of element to it, as well as the peppercorn like spiciness to it. So it's quite like a very it just smells very premium, let's say. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out my tins first. If you've never used a tin before, what you want to do is basically fill up to the groove, just so you're like not overfilling basically. And for the jar, what we're going to do is fill, so we have a 10mm gap from the top. And that's basically, you know, in line with the instructions that we've been given as well. So when I pour my fragrance oil in, I'm going to be mixing for 2 minutes, and what I want to be able to see is like no oil kind of residue inside the mix. I want it to be completely, you know, integrated with the wax. So let's go, we're at time, so we're at 60, okay, hang on, let me just, we're almost there. I feel like sometimes you have to take temperatures from different like points in the wax. I feel like the thermometer sometimes is like, oh, it's at 68 degrees, but then actually when you move it to maybe like a different point, it actually like goes up a bit. So I'm just gonna make sure that we're like, it's getting an accurate reading. So I'm just gonna make sure we're getting an accurate reading. Okay, so it's time. I'm gonna go ahead and just dump it all in. It's very satisfying to be able to do that and not worry about something like dripping all over the place. Like usually I'd basically measure out based on the quantity I'm making, so it's quite nice to be able to just dump a whole bottle in. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this out. It smells so good in here already. So one thing I should mention, I'm not sure what the curing times are for Rcx Wax. I'll pop it on the screen. So unfortunately, I won't be able to give you a like burn test to see how, you know, how it burns and everything, but I'll definitely do a follow-up video on what my thoughts are of Rcx Wax. I mean, I'm hoping obviously for the best. I've just heard so much about it, so I've got high expectations for it. I feel like I'm having to dump it out. Wait, no. So that was a complete fail in showing you me pouring the tins, but this is what it looks like. It's actually a little bit above the groove. I found that the wax and fragrance oil combination was actually quite a lot, so I had to go a tad bit over, but I think it should be okay. As you can see from the sides, there's more than enough room for the burning and the melting to happen. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let this set, and we can come back and I can show you what it like turned out to look like. As I said, as for the actual burning, I will come back and do another video, an updated video on what I thought of the Rcx Wax in general. So guys, the candle has now set, and let's have a look here. So I think I might have maybe poured a bit. I've like completely forgot. I'm so used to working with like a Parasol blend that when working with natural waxes, I always forget about, you know, all the issues that come along with it. So I think I probably had to pour maybe a bit cooler. You can see I've got some sinkholes here, and like it looks like there as well. So I would definitely, if I were to swap over to this wax, would need to kind of like play and test a lot, like basically. But everything smells really good. And I really love these tins. I think I'm going to use them in a collection at some point as well. So yeah, I mean, I will come back. If you were interested in knowing how to like, you know, resolve sinkholes, essentially what I would normally do is basically like use like a skewer, or I'm just going to do this because I'm going to keep this, but you know, poke holes basically within the wax, and then you would want to go ahead and then use a heat gun. So basically I'm just poking holes within the wax, and then what you'd want to do is use a heat gun and basically remelt the top and let the wax pour into these like little holes and the little pockets. So I would do that here as well. I'm trying to do it through the camera, so just poke it as deep down as possible and remelt the tops. So that should have fixed it, and it probably will look a lot better than my like initial pour, which looks quite a bit lumpy. I'm going to go ahead and trim my wicks now down to 5 millimeters. Ooh. And it looks like that. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you found this useful and it was a good overview of what you can expect to see in the Candle Shack candle making kit. I think it's safe to say it's probably my favorite one that I've tried so far, so I hope you get a chance to try it out and hopefully they keep it in stock for long enough. If you'd like to have a look at it, I will pop the link in the description box below. I'd really appreciate if you like, comment and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and also if you have any video suggestions, please let me know. I'm always open to knowing what you guys want me to kind of create, and yeah, I guess have it more as an open thing that I can share whatever I'm doing with you. So thank you so much again. I will see you in my next video. Bye.